Piano man, front and center. What's your name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence? You ever played keyboards? Any techno?
No, I only play piano.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Are there any drummers in the house?
I play percussion.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup!
So dumb.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be
Do your thing, brother.
You sing, bro? Sing it. Sing it, bro.
Sing it.
Here we go.
I've seen you around for a long, long time.
Oh, like that. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him. But let's take it away. Don't worry, you guys. This guy can sing your face off.
Dope singer, dope songwriter, dope wedding leader. The theme of the show is dope, I'd say.
You actually don't know. The theme is not dope. We are dare friendly. We are not.
This guy
we
has
are
to
not,
change it to a drug theme.
Because you said this is dope themed.
Well,
I
I'm sorry.
just want to make sure.
I come from the streets, dog. Dope means awesome. In your
you know
language.
what? The streets that I've heard, dope means dope.
Well, you've lived
Man, it's okay. We got off on a good start.
It's amazing start.
Whenever we start with dope, it's always good.
This is why I said before the podcast, are we gonna come up with the beginning? You're like, no,
Nope.
on the fly.
On the fly,
Well,
man. on
Dope
the
is
fly.
what you get.
When you're on the fly, it's
Stop
dope.
yourself,
you get
bro.
dope.
Stop.
It's dope.
Our friend here, we have a friend today. We have friends in the studio.
Friends.
His name is Vadim Zanko, but he's known around these parts as Zanko. You basically represent all Zankos. Do you understand? Do you understand? Whoa, I can't talk right there.
That's pressure, dude.
It's pressure.
That's pressure.
That's big pressure.
All the
You are
Zankos,
Zanko.
dude.
When I look up Zanko on Wikipedia, it's just your face.
I didn't even know who Zankos were until I met Zanko. I was like, "What Zanko? Is that like? Is that like Persian?"
I thought there was just one.
Yeah. Well, Zanko, that's like exotic sounding last name. Like mine is Klimkiv. Like what?
Klim.
We don't even talk about mine because it's lame. I mean, it's a great.
It reminds me of Lysol. Lysac,
Dude,
Lysol.
you know what?
Like
you know what?
spray-
Because it goes well with my OCD.
Yeah.
I spray Lysac all over the place. So this guy, we have him on today because he's just Mr. Extraordinaire, band leader, artist, recently husband. Get to that in a minute.
Yes.
Ladies, sorry. Me no longer still available, but
Yeah.
I know that's,
Well, thank God, because Zanko was taking all the women.
Yeah.
Finally, we can get
Finally,
some.
we're like,
man,
woo!
dang. Jeez.
Man, feels great to be not competing with this guy.
It's about freaking time.
Hey,
But,
these guys lie a bunch, by the way.
No, we'd say only the truth.
Only the truth.
50% of the time, we say the truth all the time. That's our motto here.
That's a good one, dude.
So yeah, we're gonna chat a little bit about his life. What's up, man? How's life in the last 3 months?
It's been intense, man.
Why?
Because I got married.
Man.
So how's that changed? Like how's that
Honestly,
changed your life?
dude, like everyone's
music wise, like you know, because like right now I could gig anytime I want, I could
Right.
practice anytime I want. Have you noticed like a major change?
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, I think your focus has changed a little bit and your
Oh, your
priorities.
goals.
Yeah, but
Knew it.
it's okay, dude.
Chicks ruin everything.
Well,
I mean,
no. Well, hey,
Hey, my
it's,
wife better not be watching this, dude.
no, she's not gonna.
it's
okay.
good that he
We're gonna
got
block
as
her
good as
so
he
hard.
has. It's good that you got as good as you have to this point, because you know there's people that like want to be in music and then they get married when they still suck and they still haven't practiced enough, and it's like, oh, now you got no time to practice. So you're good, man.
You're in a good position.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate
When
the
I got
support.
married, I sucked. I sucked at being married.
I'm so glad you brought up that subject.
Yeah, definitely divorced.
Hey, I'm gonna have some of your coffee.
It's okay.
By the way.
Hey, whoa! Did you drink all yours?
Yeah,
Man.
Oh dang! Hey, if you want
Dang,
some
bro.
of mine, man, our house is your house.
Yeah. But we're
So-
not at our house. It's at the Drum Lab. Speaking of, one of our very own dedicated sponsors, the Drum Lab. We also have.
But what if the Drumland wants to get a website, Serge?
I don't know, man. I think there's this place called BuzzHive.net
Please tell me more
that
about
creates
BuzzHive.net.
websites for free, folks. For free.
I could get a website
Can you
for
believe
free.
that?
So for any kind of business,
Any kind
anything.
of business.
It's good stuff.
If you are raising parakeets in the Caribbean islands and you want a website to market that,
But what kind of deals
hit a
does he offer,
BuzzHive.
Serge?
Hit a BuzzHive. I'm getting there. You hit up BuzzHive. They create the most custom parakeet-friendly, Caribbean-themed website for free. All you got to do is participate in their marketing services, and that's it. Get a free customized website. It looks like a parakeet. I wouldn't know what that looks like because I've never seen a parakeet, but yeah. So buzzhive.net, BUZZ Hive HIVE.net. Hit up those guys. Jason from BuzzHive made our website, made our logo in the blink of an eye, basically, while we're on the phone. And he's just awesome. I talked to him, by the way, the other day about marketing. Blew my mind. Blown.
It's genius.
I actually won't have anything to say today because my mind has been blown by Jason from BuzzHive. Like, marketing genius. I thought I knew about marketing. Nope. Zero.
You're like, I'm dumb.
Hi, Jason. Teach me your ways, marketing shaman.
I like that marketing
So,
shaman.
buzzhive.net. Show them some love. Just check them out. Get a quote. If you let him know that you're part of the Frendz Mafia or Frendz fan club, he'll hook you up with some sort of extra bonuses and stuff for free. I just made up. Jason, sorry, but I just made up that deal. So whether you hook him up or not,
he's going to be obligated to give him that deal.
We got to make some sort of buzzhive.net/friends.
Oh yeah, like type in Frendz and then you get this deal.
You type in, you get this deal.
So that he realizes how much millions of dollars he's getting off of us.
Millions, gajillions of dollars.
He's making millions right now because of us, you know.
Not right now, but like, you know, in like 50 years.
I think so. I mean, we have like 40,000 followers on Instagram, so.
Yeah. Because Instagram is just showing you numbers, but each number represents 1,000. We're like at 45,000.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just so you guys know. So, Zanko.
Yes, I'm here.
So your life's changed because you have a wife in your life. Like that. I'm a songwriter too, folks.
Yeah, there you
He's
go.
making his rapping debut, folks.
Pretty soon. The mixtape's coming out next summer. So, are you still doing your music like you're as an artist?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still doing music because I'm teaching, obviously, and you know, so.
Where do you teach?
I teach at Uprock, Uprock Audio. So I teach guitar, yeah. So I'm still doing that, and I still have. I had a song that I was doing in the studio, and then I got married, so it's not finished yet. But hopefully in the next few months we're gonna finish it up. But
is it gonna change the song? Oh, is it like, why am I alone? Oh man, I'm married. Why am I so happy?
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah,
so wait, so are you an artist and you have the suspenders thing going?
Yeah. So I'm an artist doing kind of my own gig, but the cool thing is we've been playing with the guys for like 10 years.
Do those guys play with in your like Zanko band too?
Exactly. That's what I love.
So it has like two identities.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's
How did
cool.
you guys start? Did the artist start first, or did Suspenders start first?
No, we started like as a garage band playing heavy metal. You know.
I know. I miss those
like,
days.
I was like, thank God the Lord has showed you the way, brother.
No, we just started like playing together, playing at church, and then it kind of turned into us sticking together forever. And you know, we started playing at weddings, and then I always wanted to do my own thing. You know, I've been writing for a long time, and then I was like, hey, we're gonna go into the studio and record, and the guys were like, yeah, we'll totally come out. So.
Whose idea was the Suspenders band?
We kind of saw. I was in a wedding band, and we were kind of playing shows here and there. And
you see that choreographed drinking coffee?
Anytime I don't know what to say, I just sip.
Man, I wish I could join. I'm empty.
You gotta talk, man.
Dude.
When we talk, you can sip.
We are out of Keurigs, remember? This is the last 3.
So
sorry.
Best.
You can have some of mine.
I will.
Okay, so you guys all kind of saw a need for it.
Yeah, we saw a need for it. We're like, hey, we can play. And then what really happened is, you know, I played in a band, so I wasn't like as scared. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like I'm kind of ready for it. But we had a friend.
You played in another band?
Yeah, I played in another band. Kind of on the side, we'd do like weddings. We played a few weddings. But the cool thing was, we had a friend that was like, hey, can you come play at our wedding? We were like, sure, you know. And then we came out, and you know, another guy was like, hey, why don't you play mine? And it just kind of rolled from there.
Yeah, and so for those that are listening that don't know, Suspenders is a wedding band, right?
Yeah.
And
Is it the suspenders or just suspenders?
The suspenders.
Just people, in case people look you up.
yeah, and they became popular really quickly, and at a point it seemed like everybody and their mom was hiring you guys. Like, how did you guys get so popular so fast? Do you think it was just the
Me
branding?
and my
you
mom
got
didn't
pe-
hire them.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know. I'm part of that everyone.
You and your mom?
Well, yeah, you said everyone and their mom. So I figured I don't want to leave my mom out. If everyone's bringing their mom, I'm bringing mine too. I love my mom.
I will rephrase that. Everybody and their mom except for Serge and his mom.
We have our own band going.
Yeah, they hired a drum pad
The Larissa and Sergey duos.
That's hilarious.
and an accordion player.
By the
So,
way, I
very
sang
weird
with my
wedding.
mom once at church. Left the stage crying.
Well, how old are you?
10.
Forever
Worst experience of my
scarred,
life.
dude.
Love my
Forever
mom. Now,
scarred.
I played with her a couple gigs before. Since then,
Out of
but
control.
that day,
Did you sing?
I sang my heart out.
No,
and then
hold
I
on.
cried my eyes out.
I sang at a church one time, and I sang the entire song off key, like a whole step up, and I
That's
knew
the
it,
worst,
and I knew it, and I went off stage. I was like 12 years old, and I cried.
Dude,
I
one
just-
time we're playing a wedding with the band, like, and it was like we were like 14, and so right before
you guys
we're
have been around that long?
Seriously.
Wow. I'm not
we've
even
been-
joking
dude,
right now.
It's been forever. Anyway, we're like 14, and it's like at our drummer's sister's wedding, and what's it called? We're playing Marvin Gaye's. Come on, everyone knows Marvin Gaye's song.
Marvin Gaye.
We don't say
Ain't no
that.
mountain high. Ain't no mountain high.
Oh,
So-
ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough. All right,
you
we'll
go.
turn it up. All right, should we hear Marvin Gaye again? Let's hear a little bit more of Marvin Gaye. Ain't no river wide.
Oh man, Marvin Gaye just left the room. Marvin Gaye just left the room. Sorry, Marvin Gaye, come back later,
Do
Marvin
not
Gaye.
touch the mic. Do not. We had that preview on iTunes. We had that preview on iTunes specifically. For
Marvin
Frendz
Gaye
Podcast.
apparently has a cold.
Yeah. do you guys want to hear more Marvin Gaye?
We didn't hear his
No,
story.
bro,
Wait, was that the song?
That was pretty much the song.
Let me play maybe another Marvin Gaye song. Should we play another
Do you
Marvin
know
Gaye?
any other
Shut
Marvin
up,
Gaye
Marvin
I
songs?
don't
Gaye.
know. I don't. But
Hey, do another Marvin Gaye song.
I gotta
Marvin
find it.
Gaye has lost his memory because he only remembers one stupid song.
Hey, it's a great song, bro.
Okay, so you guys were singing the song.
And so I forgot how we got to this. Why are we talking about this?
That's why I was trying to get back, get us back on
No,
track.
because I was saying I was super embarrassed about me
Oh,
singing.
right. So we come up on stage, and it's me and this girl singing, and it's drums, bass, and keys, and we're having a hard time finding the key. And right before we get on stage, our piano player's like, "Dude, I'm not playing." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're not playing?" He's like, "Dude, I'm not playing." I'm like, "No way. What do you mean?"
He just
So we
scared?
come up, hey, and this
You
was
just got
almost
scared?
I don't know. I think it was because we were struggling in practice, and we're like, dude, let's just do it. I don't think he got scared. He was just like, dude, this is going to suck. So I'm like bailing out.
Dang, good
But-
friend. For sure, good friend.
No, but the thing is, it was like, innovative because it was drums and bass, and vocals. So
It's the drum and bass version.
If I was the lead singer, I would have been like, "Yeah, this song's without the keyboard player, just so you guys know. Hey, can you leave? Okay, he's already left. Okay,
He has
He's gone.
He's a temporary stomach flu.
temporary. Yeah, there you go.
and so then what happened? He just left and that's it, and you guys. Just did
Yeah,
the
no,
song?
yeah. So we come up, we start singing, and she starts singing in a different key. Then how do you get a key? Which he's just playing bass, and there's no intro, or like how do you know what key? So she starts singing the wrong key, like completely. I'm like, she went like way too high. I'm like trying to like sing with her. I'm like, no, this is not working, dude. Like to this day, we have a video of like them recording, and like you look at the bride and the groom, and their face is just like.
Can we post that on Friends
No.
on the Friends
Yeah, man.
podcast
It's
website?
forever
please?
gonna scar me, and I'm gonna cry, dude.
Dude, come on,
No,
let us
dude.
post it.
Well, the best part about when I was singing, my aunt came up to me and everybody was like, "Oh, dude, like, yeah, I know it happens," and my aunt was like, "What? No, you were on key.
What
You were
happened?
great. I was raising my hands and praising the Lord. I don't know why you weren't off key at
Praying
all."
to God for you to stop.
Probably, but she was like trying to be so nice. I'm like, and I looked at her. I literally was like, I was off key. Don't even like. I was like,
That's hilarious, dude.
We're gonna start a Kickstarter page to get us enough money to pay you for that video. 'Cause I wanna see that.
I'm totally down for that. I'm totally down for that.
It's all bad.
So you guys have been around for years.
yeah, I think.
Were
it's
you guys
coming up to
always the
11.
suspenders, or you guys were just kind of?
That's the thing. It's we're always changing our name. I mean, we started off as this like a church band, and we're leading worship at church, and that's something we like did for a long time. And even during Suspenders, you know, the reign of the Suspenders, we were still playing worship.
It's been raining.
We've been playing worship and stuff. That's something we love. So we have that kind of face, and we call that the half set because we'd have the cajon set up. You know, I'd be playing acoustic, and then you know, our bass player had like a little acoustic bass that he didn't bring out much, but still, you know, it was like this like half set. It wasn't a full set. So we played that, and that's something we loved. Then we had this jazz and blues side of us that was, you know, weddings and you know, playing covers and stuff. And then obviously I had my own stuff. But the cool thing is the guys were there the whole time.
So there's like a lot of musical chemistry.
Right.
But do you guys do, or at least in the beginning, just Russian weddings, or you guys now do like doing American weddings too?
We've played kind of like half and halves, you know what I mean? Like where like there's a Russian couple.
Yeah.
Or I mean like she's Russian and he's, you know, American.
Oh, and he's American.
Yeah.
There's such a thing?
Yeah, there's
Oh
such
my
a thing.
gosh.
Oh, I'll pray for them.
But yeah. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You guys are killer. I've sat in with you guys before.
Yeah, you have.
One gig.
Serge
I was a
has.
suspender once.
Hey,
Well, dude,
By the way, I'm
did
sorry.
I pay for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I just brought you on the show to ask you, confront you. Where's my money? Fool?
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, confession, definitely hate suspenders. Hate wearing them.
Oh,
dude,
Want a belt. Love the bow tie. Hate the suspenders.
I like the suspenders now. I hate bow ties though. I hate bow ties.
I like
but
bow
love
ties,
I
too.
love suspenders.
That's why we get along, because we
Yeah.
don't get along.
Yeah. Well, you could wear the bow tie. I'll wear the suspenders.
Perfect.
Yeah.
hilarious.
But the thing is, when I first met you at my friend's wedding, actually, I emceed that wedding. I emceed an entire wedding. Did you know that?
No.
I hosted an entire wedding.
Can we get video of that?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun because I came in. My friend asked me to do this, and I don't know why.
The theme today is incriminating videos.
Yeah, seriously. Shout out to Rita for having that much faith in me. But she's like, please, can you do that? I think you would be great. And it ended up being a million times better than I thought it would be. I was like, man, I've never done this. It ended up being awesome. So I came in, and I'm like, oh, the suspenders are here. Like, I've heard a lot about you guys, and I know you guys are super modern. So I'm like, sweet. So I come in. And I came up to Vadim and I'm like, hey dude, when I start, I need like a ton of energy. You know, like when I'm in, you know, I was introducing them like when the bride and groom are coming through. And I'm like, dude, I need a ton of energy, like something super funky, like a ton of energy because, you know, I'm kind of nervous right now. And so as soon as they started playing, all my nervousness went away and it flowed so well. Like it was dope. The venue wasn't very good for music though. It was so
Where'd you
excellent.
guys play?
This is downtown. I forgot what it's called.
You know that huge... We are back on. All right.
We are
So
back
anyways.
on, folks. For all those
man.
YouTube folks.
I got so excited about this wedding.
We'll have to
Oh my
just-
gosh.
Weddings are exciting, folks. We're
Yeah.
knocking out. I grabbed Oleg's mic. Today's mic. The theme is grabbing and knocking over mics.
It's hilarious.
That was awesome.
Man, this
Anyways,
is great.
what was I gonna say?
The
Yeah,
venue.
the venue. So the venue is in downtown. It's that huge like church-looking building.
Oh, it's like all glass. It's
Yeah.
like really tall.
Yeah, it's like super tall. Yeah.
A library. Used to be a
But,
library.
no, but the whole building is like granite. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
that's
sound is
horrible.
just like
Horrible.
bouncing off. So everybody kept coming up to you guys and like, make it quieter, make it quieter. But I came up to them and I was like, please give me energy, and they gave me like more than enough energy, and all my nervousness left me, and it was a dope wedding.
Sweet,
dope.
bro. Dope.
Sweet.
This-
Yeah. And so then again, I saw you guys on my cousin's wedding, and I sat in with them, started to jam.
Dude,
that was
but
fun.
you played. What did you play? You played the come on. What did you play?
Keyboards. They're
No,
keyboards.
wasn't
They're called keyboards.
No, the melodica. You played the melodica.
Oh,
dude.
the
That was
melodica. That was
sweet,
dope.
man.
I soloed on the melodica. That
Yeah,
was fun,
sweet. It was a
man.
lot of fun.
Because I almost died because for those of you that don't know, a melodica is like a keyboard, but you have to blow into it so that it makes the sound. It's like a saxophone but with a keyboard. And so I've never played one before, so I wasn't taking in breaths. So I was literally like almost passing out, like this solo's so dope, but I can't take a breath. Just like almost passing out.
Passes out, falls over on stage.
Yeah, when he gave it to me,
Solo over.
well, when you gave it to me, I thought you were kidding. I was like, "What is this?" I thought it was like something somebody gave it to you, and I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
this is an actual instrument. This is dope."
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
Again, dope. Kids, don't do dope. Just
Yeah.
play dope instruments.
Yeah.
So then you went to start writing your own music
Yep.
as you as artist, and you have an EP out.
Yes.
I know this because I played on it.
Serge played
I
on one
played
of the
a
tracks.
song on Zanko's
Unfortunately.
track. What?
No, I'm just kidding. Serge is an
dare
awesome
you.
drummer, and please hire him for every gig that you
Every
ever
gig
have.
that you ever have, call
Yeah,
me and
there you
Oleg.
go. Yeah,
Just we're a package deal.
yeah.
Frendz will play. Frendz rhythm section.
We're contractually obligated to be with each other.
Yeah, kind of weird, but yeah, works out financial
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
But
making
yeah,
millions.
that EP was awesome. Is it self-titled or what is it titled?
It's
people
called
can
The
find-
Story and the Change. It's up on iTunes.
just under Zanko.
Zanko, Zanko, The Story and the Change.
It's a
Yep.
it's an awesome EP.
What style? What style is it?
Oh, that's such a hard question. I can never answer
It's
that.
it's a cool. It's on the. And there's some songs that are like John Mayer trio vibe. There's some songs that are really mellow. The song I played was really laid back and really open, but very like I love that song because it's so powerful. And do you want to play it tonight or no?
I could play a snippet if my
He-
coffee voice allows.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little sample. But that song is really cool. What's that song about?
So it's a song that kind of was inspired.
That was not a planned segue. Just that kind of sounded like that, but it was not. I really just like that song.
It's a song about my sister who has cerebral palsy. So she was born dead, and then somehow the nurses revived her. But anyway, she has cerebral palsy, and she's just kind of been an encouragement in my life. So yeah, I was just kind of inspired by her. And the chorus says, "I am all she has." Like that's and there's a lot of people in our lives that we can say, hey, we're the only hope that they have.
Yeah.
That they like kind of rely on us. So that's kind of what it was inspired by.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's it's like Oleg. Oleg is
The only one.
Oleg is all I have. No, but that's awesome, dude. Like you can feel it in that song. Like when I was listening to it the first time, I could tell this was not just like lyrics that someone just like thought up in the studio, like words that rhymed.
Right.
Like you can feel it, and I think a lot of times when music is real and genuine, you feel it. Like you just feel that spirit, or whatever it is, good or bad,
Right.
positive or negative. You feel it when it's real. It's there. So that's why I like. Do you write are all your songs like that? They're all like something that you relate to, or some songs are just like, hey, maybe I'll write this song about a girl and a guy that fell off a swing.
Honestly, no, nothing about a swing yet. But anyway, no, I feel like that's so hard to do. Is to write about. I mean, sure, I can make stuff rhyme and like put songs together, but that's something it's every song that I've written always comes out of a place, and like it's something that I've experienced or something that I'm going through, and it's on my heart, like. And that's why like honestly I have such a hard time, and I hate myself for it. I have such a hard time writing sometimes because I'm like, no, I'm not just gonna say this. It has to be perfect, and it has to, like translate, exactly what I'm going through, or like, So that's why it kind of takes forever.
But when you're writing a song, are you trying to do like a specific style, or you just like you start from the lyrics and then just go from there, whatever hits you?
Honestly, usually every song starts off with like. I'll just be sitting on the guitar and
C chord.
lyrics.
Yeah,
There you go. But yeah, every song starts off with like a melody and words right away. It's the trippiest thing because I'll get something and it'll be like a line, and I'm like, yes. And then I'll just start kind of building on top of that, and it turns out to what it is.
And so you add the chords after all that?
Yeah, and it's never like, oh, this is gonna be this style. I'm gonna write a jam like this.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah.
It's interesting to see how different writing is. It's like some people write from, like they read poetry and it comes from there, or like
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting to see different perspectives, and it's all your songs are like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
Yeah,
That must be hard to write because like you have to come from a real place in your life.
exactly. And that's again coming back to the whole like. It takes me a while because I have so many songs like that are just like sections, but it's hard to finish because it's like that's a great line, you know what I mean, and like that's something I'm going through, but how do I put in other words and like really kind of paint the big picture, you know what I mean? So that's kind of it's hard, and it takes a lot of work. Honestly, songwriting is like, because you're not just thinking lyrics. I mean, especially me, I'm super picky about every little note that I play, every word that I write. You know, it's so that's why it gets hard. You know, because you're like trying to, you know, this word has to be perfect, and you know. So.
Who are your like biggest influences for like? Because like when I started playing, the reason I started playing the way I was, there was like 5 artists that I listened to, and I was like, I want to sound just like those guys.
Yeah.
Like, who did you listen to? Like John Mayer?
Yeah, I love.
Besides me and Oleg.
Yeah, besides.
You can take us out of that. I know we're there, but like just for the sake of the audience.
Yeah.
Just
Well, not probably 5 years
exclude
ago.
us.
I sucked 5 years ago, but.
You sucked 5 years ago. What if you?
How old was I? No. Okay, like 7 years ago, and then after that, I kind of sucked. So. And now
Wasn't as bad.
I just suck.
So 5 artists.
5 artists, man. Definitely Mayer. Love his stuff. I think he can go from blues and then come back to more of his poppy side. And one thing that he actually talks about in one of his videos is that he has these 3 sides that people feel like they, you know, like they categorize him right away. But anyway, that's.
Are you talking about Robert Mayer, the flautist, the jazz flautist?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a big part of my life too.
But yeah, John Mayer. I definitely like Eric Clapton and some of the classics. Eric Clapton. Who else? Man, there's so many. Drake.
Serious? I was like,
hey, I like Drake.
No, honestly, I'll tell you what. I can listen to any kind of music and
find reasoning in it.
Yeah, and just be like,
I'm the same way.
ooh, that is good. And like I can listen to any kind of music and just like pull stuff out.
Like I used to make a lot of fun of Justin Bieber when he first became big, but then I saw him live with his band. Good Lord,
he's so cute. I mean, what? Did I say that? What?
We're gonna talk about that in another
I'm just
section.
kidding. Totally kidding.
No, but his band is like ridiculously
Really?
sick.
I've never seen him live.
He's
Watch
a good
on
musician.
YouTube his live videos. His band is ridiculous, man, and he's talented too.
Yeah.
Like when he can play like all of his stuff from his CD on his guitar.
I've never seen him live.
Dude,
Yeah, he's actually
so
a good
talented,
drummer,
man.
dude.
Do you think he's like okay? I just off the top of my head, do you think he's like our generation's Justin Timberlake? Well, unless he just like stops all his shenanigans.
I think he has the potential to be that. It's just a question of will he become that?
Yeah,
because here's the thing: when he first became big, he had the talent and he had the voice, but he couldn't really play any instrument. I mean, he messed around the guitar. Now, if you see him pick up the guitar, he can play like bluesy stuff. So even though he's you know making all this money, and even though he knows he's talented, he's still increasing his game day by day, getting better. And
he's
he's
like
still
he
playing. Hold on,
retired.
yeah, that's what I thought.
He said he
Is he still
retired
playing,
because he's
or-
like probably.
I mean, maybe he did, but when I saw his videos, I was like, okay, this guy's stepping his game up. So,
Yeah.
but maybe he did, you know, I don't know. But
I remember he was going through that phase where he was like, I'm done with music and I'm
Yeah.
gonna open up a tattoo shop or something like that.
Oh, well, see, if that's the
Stupid.
case, he's not going to be Justin Timberlake.
Nope.
If he wants to be Justin Timberlake, he has to keep increasing his game just like Justin is.
Yeah. Okay, so John Mayer, Eric Clapton, some of the classics.
Louis Armstrong.
Were you serious about Drake or no?
No, I mean like
You like some of his stuff, but
I
it's not
mean,
like,
honestly, like I'll be honest, and some people might hate me, but I've like heard his stuff, but I've never like sat down and listened.
Got
to
it.
But yeah, there's definitely like even like a lot of pop stuff. I love like folky kind of like.
Sorry, Drake, if you're listening, just want we like you, Drake. Don't send us those hateful emails anymore.
It's okay.
bro.
Justin Bieber's going to see this and he's going to love us. So
So, what was the last one?
I said Louis Armstrong, but when I say Louis Armstrong, it's not just Louis Armstrong. It's that whole era and everything. I mean, jazz and blues is something that I love, you know. And there's so many artists out there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
hey, when I hear you play, I notice like with a lot of guitar players, what I really don't like is when you can tell by their playing if they are musical theory-wise sound. When I hear you play, I can tell your theory is pretty solid. Did you go to school at all, or you just kind of self-taught, or how did you get your theory to the level of where it is? Like knowing like, okay, G is the 5 chord of C, that kind of
Right.
thing. So many guitar players out there don't even know what that is, and they should. It's pretty ridiculous. You know that kind of stuff. Did you take a class or what?
So check this out. I mean, I have a whole thing on this. One is, I think you need both, right?
You do, yeah.
You need theory.
You
I think
have
that's
to.
super important. But one thing I started with is soul, like just being able to like translate, you know, soul and feelings into guitar, and being able to hear that, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that are they know so much theory, but you know, when it comes to playing, it's like, well,
yeah, they're vanilla. They
Yeah.
sound white.
so my thing is,
what's wrong with white, man?
Yeah,
talking to white
people hate when I
man.
say that. It's the truth, man.
White
like,
is okay.
like
White is right. White is all right. Man, I gotta step up for the poor white guys being stomped on over here.
People are like, "Why do you hate your own race?" I'm like, "No, I'm just saying, black people they play with so much more soul than white people. You know."
I don't know. I see some white.
I mean, there are.
people-
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like white people do, but the white people get it from black people.
I just don't want to lose all of our audience.
Yeah. Every single podcast we've talked about
We
losing
only have
audience members.
one ISIS member that listens. Everyone else is like Canada, Kansas, Seattle.
You said one ISIS member. Last podcast we said we have on our downloads. We have like 2 downloads from Pakistan and like 3 from Iran.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's pretty
It's
cool.
all one guy listening on 3 devices. I know him.
Reaching
He's
the
my
ends
friend.
of the world.
There you go. So, I don't know what we're talking about.
Theory and-
Oh, theory, yeah.
Music theory.
So I started off as just being soul, but I saw an end. There's like, okay, but what's next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I caught myself like in this rut, and so that's where the theory pulled me out of that rut. I kind of knew theory-ish, but I did go back to school, and ARC has an awesome music program.
Yeah,
like
they do.
Really talented musicians.
America River College, just for people who don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, so they have a really good program, and just sat there and took what I needed, and then just applied it to real worlds.
You just took it for knowledge bases, not like degree.
Right, exactly. And honestly, like, I think it's so important to be able to have the both. You know what I'm saying?
It's super important, man.
Yeah,
because one thing I've noticed about a ton of guitar players is that when they don't have theory, they get really good at one style.
Yeah.
And then they don't, like you said, soul. Like they might get some soul, or they'll play like worship music at church,
Right.
and that's
it.
all they
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You have to have
Yeah.
theory. If you have theory, you'll play
Yeah.
any style.
I mean, sometimes people get into that their thing, and that's their thing, and they make millions off of it. I mean, it's okay, but yeah, if you're trying to be just your average musician, like, yeah, you gotta be versatile.
Yeah, but I feel like even like what you're saying is people get into those things, but they've tasted all the other things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're
it's
right,
not
you're
just
right, you're
like I'm stuck
they
playing
have other
G, D,
influences,
E minor,
yeah.
and C. You know,
Yeah.
so. But yeah, and like I think that's so important to be able to and play different kinds of music. Not just think theory and where can I go, but play different kinds of music. Play some Indian music, play some jazz.
Yeah,
play
because
some-
I noticed, like, when I like geek out on certain things, or like as a drummer, I geek out on certain styles or certain like grooves or licks or
Right.
whatever. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna ever play those styles. It just works itself into my musical DNA, and like it's there somewhere.
Exactly.
It's there
Yeah,
somewhere. There's an
yeah.
underlying like tone, like
yeah.
this guy that I used to play for, he asked me like, oh, what do you listen to? And I fired off a couple artists, and he's like, oh yeah, I could totally hear that, and you're playing, like, I could hear that vibe in your playing.
Yeah.
That's such a good point. Like you were saying, G, D, E minor, C. If you don't have a musical theory basis and you're playing G, D, E minor, C, if you listen to that person play those 4 chords, but then you listen to somebody play those same 4 chords with like a simple worship song that knows theory, you'll notice the difference in, like you said, in their musical DNA. And that's something that changed for me. Like when I started learning from a lot of gospel and jazz guys, like my G, D, E minor, C completely changed.
Yeah.
Like you play simple songs better, even though you're not adding much. Just the attitude, in your hands and you're playing, like the feeling of it totally changes. The dynamic changes.
Yeah, because I think music is not just like X's and O's. It's not just black and white. There's so many different layers to it. Emotional, like you were saying, soul.
So there
like
are other different colored keys, not black and white.
Yeah.
Oleg's are they're different colors, so he remembers them. I helped him do that. I put Post-it notes. We made him out of Post-its. Like the one on the right is the first one's the pink one.
He
and
literally
the green
told me
one.
that. He literally
Pink,
said that before
green,
a gig.
pink, green, white, green, green. So that's how we learn our music.
It's like
And my
Dance
drums
Revolution.
are color coded
that's
too.
great.
Dance Revolution.
Keyboard version.
Our band actually plays rock band instruments.
Yeah, that's right. I like Guitar Center's newest slogan: "Real musicians play real instruments." It's like, okay, everybody already knows that.
Guitar Center.
Yeah.
So now you're still doing music, but you started doing some other stuff. And that's in. How did you get into that? Like, you got into real estate, or you said drafting, right?
Yeah, so I'm doing a little bit of
We
drafting.
did some research before this, so we know a little bit about you.
Yeah, I'm kind of venturing out and doing some drafting and getting into that, the real estate market, and I've been very business minded since the beginning. Even when it came to music, that's something I was like, man, let me grab this music, and how can I market it? How can I, because obviously there's that soul and whatever, you put that on a CD, but then what next? Like how do I manage this? Or even the band, like how do I manage that? And from a financial standpoint to also like, a marketing standpoint. So I've always loved the business side of music and just business in general. So yeah, I'm kind of getting into the real estate market and also, drafting. And
is that like something that someone got you into, or you just by yourself jumped into it? Like, hey, I want to get into this. I've never done it, but I just want to try it.
My dad's been in the construction industry forever, and then he kind of also invests on the side and does some development and whatever. But also have some family that does that. So I'm very project minded. Like, I don't know if I can sit in a cubicle 8 to 5. I like to build something, and not just say like physically build something, but even building a business. I truly enjoy that, and I'm very, like I said, project minded, and I enjoy building something. So
it's kind of how me and Serge are. Like as soon as the word podcast came up, immediately I'm like, let's do it. And the funny thing is when we started it, like it took no time. Like, boom, let's get this, we do this, let's get that, let's get that. Like, it just boom, and we got it done.
Because there's that drive.
Exactly.
Like,
and it's your own, like it's your own business, it's your own thought, and that inspires you.
There's a saying that, like, I don't even know if it's a saying. There's a saying. Actually, there's no saying, but I like to think of it like if you love the process, money will come, or success will come. Whether it's, let's say it's a nonprofit,
right?
If you love the process of it, building a business or writing an album and putting it out, and like there's success in finishing it. It's like from just writing to finishing your album. I think it's a success once it's a done project, whether it sells billions or not, or millions or not. I think it's a success. So if you love the process of those kind of things, if you're project minded, like you're saying, like a lot of other things end up being attractive to you. Like for me, it's like I'm a constant battle of like, do I read a business book? Do I practice drums? Do I work on this? Do I work on that? And I'm just, that's, maybe it's, people might say like, oh, you can't figure out whether you want one or other. I'm like, I like both. I want to do both. Like there's some people that want to just play guitar. Like doing something other than guitar drives them crazy. But there's guys like, I guess the three of us and other people that we want to have on the show that are like, hey, we like a lot of these things. We like multiple things, and I want to pursue them all equally.
Yeah, it's kind of. I feel like it's kind of a curse sometimes too. Like for me, I like a lot of times I think about this. I feel like I have too many interests, and I want to excel at everything.
Yeah, you got to be the best.
Yeah, like, I want to be a dope musician. I want to be a dope businessman.
And I want a dope dealer.
Yeah, not a dope dealer. And that's as I was saying that, I was like, I know he's gonna say dealer. I was like,
sorry, I just had to.
Yeah, but it's like I love right now, like my job at K11 Air 1 and learning like the big business side of things and like learning about artists and like this podcast, and then I realize how busy I am sometimes, and it gets frustrating, and I'm like, man, I wish I didn't like to do so many things, but I do, and it's like it's a curse and a blessing at the same time. So it's like, I'm
always like, I wish I wasn't so awesome.
You always do that, tooting horns when they don't need to be tooted. This is the toot your horn segment.
Go ahead, folks, toot your own horn with us. Toot your own horn at home.
But yeah, we've tooted Vadim's horn enough. Are you gonna play something for us?
Yeah, man.
I was supposed to, huh?
So if you need anything drafted, right? You do drafting.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can find you on social medias.
Yep.
All kinds of internets, webs.
Yes.
Webs of the internet. Know. But we want to hear you sing some tunes or a tune.
Let's do it. So for those of you that haven't caught on to the theme, Vadim's a dope singer, dope songwriter, and a dope guitar player.
And not a dope user.
Not a dope user.
Neither one of us are. Oleg is.
Okay, so I'm gonna get real sad on you guys. So.
Woo, that sounds good already. Look at that chord.
Don't cry, sir.
Are you gonna get my cajon or what's up, man?
Oh, what? What is that? Is that a cajon next to me?
This just
What?
happened to be right there. What's up?
Oh my gosh! Good thing someone left it here.
So I'm gonna play like a verse and a chorus, and I think we'll call it quits.
All right, man. Do your thing, dude. People want to hear this.
I saw a blind man with black shades to cover his eyes. His son held his hand and you could see he really tried to be the man his father is and see the world through his eyes. I am all he has, getting over. It's an uphill fight, and it ain't easy. I am all he has, getting over. It's an uphill fight, it ain't easy.
Dude, man,
Oh,
that's
Zanko, that was beautiful.
dude. You're dope, man. You're dope, dude.
The word is dope. I'm glad you picked a song where there was almost no drums on the record.
If I was watching this podcast, I'd be buying your
I was
music
like,
right
man,
now.
how am I gonna play cajon, the song where I played brushes on?
He's like rubbing the cajon.
Like,
That's hilarious.
dude,
Dang,
thanks
dude,
for.
I'm stoked to play with you guys, man. Woo!
Well, you're playing with them. Can I play? Can I just? Where does
Do you
Jimmy
have a
live?
shaker? Maybe a shaker.
I'm
in the
gonna
back
come
there?
over there and hurt his legs.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
Accidentally hit him with my
go.
car. No, I'm just kidding. Jimmy is the drummer in your band, and he's one of my old students and a good friend of mine for years. So I love that kid, and he kills it with you guys. That kid plays one song, playing drums with one hand and playing trumpet with the other.
Serious?
Yeah, we do one song like that.
Definitely tears it up there. Yeah, dude,
Dang,
trumpet
dude.
and drums at the same time. So definitely can't follow that.
Hey, real quick, I just realized this. I think the reason your band is so popular, you guys have a very specific sound. I think is very hard to copy or to duplicate. You know what I mean? It's like that classic, but John Mayer, but like this feel that like you can't replicate. Whereas like in most wedding bands I've seen, you know, they'll do covers something, they sound like the record, and that's fine. But you can get any band to do that. Whereas you guys have like your own sound. Like, do you guys ever talk about that, or it just happened?
It just happens, man. And
Really?
honestly, it's you know, you hear this from the side, you're like, well, I never knew that, you know.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
I'm like
cool.
scared to fill in. I'm like, man, they have their own sound. Like that's
you gotta
that's
gotta be
deliver,
careful,
bro.
dude.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on.
Hey, you're-
They had a chat with me when I played. They were like, dude, less is that and more of what Jimmy does. Sorry, guys. I thought you wanted 2 bass drums and 5 chinas.
That's interesting. I got a kind of a random question.
They're fun to play with.
I got to ask this. Do you ever get nervous, or is it that you've been doing it for so long you never get nervous?
I do get nervous.
You do.
Yeah, there's
Really?
times where I'm like coming up on stage, I'm like, man, why am I nervous? And like I'm
Really?
confused. I'm like, I'm nervous. And sometimes, honestly, obviously, it depends on like. Sometimes my voice, I'm just like, man, I didn't warm up, or like I just had some coffee, whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean? Like, that was a
interesting.
bad, bad
2
idea.
coffees.
It's interesting because so many people are so different with that. The guy that leads worship at my church, he used to lead worship at Capital Christian, which is a huge church.
Right.
And he said at Capital Christian, he never got nervous. And then when he started coming to Project Church, you know, there's like 50 people,
Right.
if that, in the audience at that time when it first started. And he said he would get incredibly nervous every time.
You know, I have a theory on that.
What's that?
For me, I don't really get nervous anymore.
I don't either.
But in the beginning, what was for me, it was when I would play. When you play in a smaller venue or a smaller room or a smaller audience, you see a lot more people. You get to like look at them in their eyes, like you
Right.
you experience their reactions and the way that they respond to you. But if you're playing, let's say on a big stage, lots of lights. Let's say small place where you can see people, and then you have a big place where
Right.
you really can't see those people. It's just a sea of people. it's not that nerve-wracking.
Right. Yeah.
I've never played on like, live TV, millions of people. Maybe that would change the dynamic where it's like, okay, I can't see any of these people, but I'm sweating bullets right now.
Yeah.
But for me, it's always been the bigger the place, the less I see the people, the less I think about it, the more I'm like just stoked to play this huge show.
Right.
Versus playing a small place where it's like, whoa, I have to play like.
They're looking right at you.
Yeah,
looking looking right at you, and you're right there in like someone's living room.
But I've noticed also like that nervousness right when you hit like the first note, you're like, let's do this thing. You'll be like, you're like, man, okay, let's do this. You're kind of nervous before, but right when you start playing, it's like, dude, it's all gone.
Just think of it like students, like my students and me as a student. I would get so nervous because you're in the room with one person,
right,
and they're just staring at you like, go ahead, dance, monkey, dance. So it's like that.
Yeah.
Like if you play in a bigger group, it's a little bit less like.
I remember I was playing one. It's on YouTube, like this, like forehand type of like blues thing on the piano for like a Capital Christian.
I'm not trying to be funny. Forehand.
Yeah. Well, two people.
Okay. It's like,
I'm not trying
how
to
do
be
you
funny.
do that?
He said I'm not trying to be
I was just
funny.
genuinely curious.
No, well, it was one of those things like we start, and when it got crazy, we switched. Like it's pretty dope. This was like 5 years ago, and I remember when I started, I was super nervous, and I didn't even know why, and I was like focusing on it, and then like a minute into the thing, I'm like, I need to start having fun with this. So I started, you see in the video, I kind of start showing emotion, and all my nervousness left.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you have fun with stuff, like that's when your nervousness will leave. And I wish somebody would have told me that, because if somebody would have told me before that, hey, if you have fun with it and show emotion, all your nervousness is going to leave, because your body's going to be convinced, hey, I'm having fun, I love this, I don't dislike doing this.
Or if you just eat a lot of sleeping pills, that works too.
So
I mean, not that I've done it before.
While playing drums,
sleeping pills.
Relax. It relaxes your nerves.
No, have you really?
No, are you crazy, dude? I barely take Tylenol. My head hurts.
I was like, dang, man.
I don't want no chemicals in my body.
This is where you say dope.
Yeah, dope.
Dude, I have anti-pills, anything. Dude, I don't take anything ever.
I don't either, man. No matter how I'm like sick
I will
am.
confess, I did last night though.
What, sleeping pills?
Dude, I woke up in the middle of the night, my toe was just killing me. I was like,
What?
Hey, I never take
Are you a
pills.
secret soccer player? Tell us the truth. Do you like soccer?
No, my toe was killing me. I was like, dude, I cannot sleep. And I never take pills. But last night, I was like, I need to get some sleep because I have a podcast to go to tomorrow.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's getting paid a lot of money to do this.
I went for a swim before this because I just wanted to unplug,
I always work out right
Get
before
my
the podcast.
chi in line. Get all my chi in line.
You're what?
All my Zen chi? I don't know. Don't ask.
I thought you was talking about tea for a second.
But yeah. So how'd that work out? Passed out?
Yeah, so I had I took some pain relievers.
Why are you gonna say it quiet? It's like you said, like, I took some heroin.
The theme of this podcast is dope.
Yeah, dude, I can't do it. I don't want to do anything else. I had some injury. Someone's like, you need to take ibuprofen. I'm like, I don't want to.
Well, even when I'm sick, like
Suck
I'm
it
scared to take NyQuil. I don't take NyQuil. Like I just bite the bullet and just sleep, with congested. Like,
Oleg literally
just-
sleeps with the bullet between his teeth. He bites the bullet.
I literally
It
do.
helps relax his body. Anyways, man, dude, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. You have a full length record coming out, another EP.
I have a single
EP?
coming out. That's a lot different than my other stuff. It's a little more poppy. So I'm stoked for it.
Okay, so Zanko.com or
Zanko.com.
Zanko.com. That's like you got that URL, huh?
Yeah.
That's a good
We
one.
got lucky
I
with
think
the
you
Frendz
know what?
podcast.
I think I forgot. Maybe it's ZankoMusic.com.
Okay, whatever.
Dang.
No big deal. Just trying to get people to follow you. Just
What about
type
your-
in the words letter Z, you'll find him.
So I'll give his Instagram for him. Zanko Music, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zanko Music. Singles coming out. That's cool. Do you know when? Do you have a?
I don't honestly. Like I said, I was recording it before, before the wedding, and so we already have a lot of it done. It's just kind of coming in and finishing it. So I don't know yet. We're still trying to settle in with the lady.
Are you recording at Uprock?
Uprock, yeah. Check them out. Recording is amazing.
Yeah, they're really good over there. So a little plug for Uprock.
What about Suspenders? Are you guys pretty busy coming up or what?
Yeah, we're busy. Honestly, everyone I got married. Everyone's married except one guy. but
Kick him out.
So
You don't need him.
So
You don't need him.
So now the suspenders are like, all right, we don't need to go to weddings anymore. We've scouted enough. We got married.
yeah, exactly.
Make him wear no suspenders. Like he's not the married
Hey, so
one.
let me and Serge take over the suspenders now because we're still single. So
Yeah, we need to get that.
Hey, that's how it works, dude. That's how you
Yeah,
get
you
married.
just gotta-
Playing
the
at
more
weddings,
weddings-
all these girls like, I want to be a bride too. Oh, look, a drummer. Oh man. So cool. I'm excited for that. And you just all kinds of cool things. Teaching guitar, drafting, music. Man, that's awesome. We're stoked for you. Congrats on getting married.
yeah, congrats, bro.
Nice,
Dang,
thank
man.
you.
And
We're not gonna see him as often now because he's married. He's ball and
we'll
chain
see him.
now.
I know where he lives.
Yeah.
We're neighbors, brother.
I'll see you at weddings.
We'll have you on maybe once your single comes out. We'd love to hear it. A little sampling.
And at that point, we might have some keys and a drum set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and maybe
that'd be
you'll
sweet,
play a
dude.
song where I can actually play cajon, not just touch it. Like, oh yeah, just play cajon. You guys can hear
It's
it.
for the
'Cause I
camera.
don't want
It's
to
for
ruin
the
the
camera.
song because I actually really like this one. Dude, thanks for coming on.
Thank you,
guys.
bro.
Everybody in podcast land, thank you for being so supportive. We have a good response so far.
We have more downloads outside of Sacramento than inside, like way more, like twice
That's
as much, literally.
crazy.
Which is awesome. Kansas, shout out, 45 downloads from Kansas.
Kansas,
Kansas,
love you. Kansas,
Email us, add us on Instagram, Frendz Podcast on
Yeah, you can
Instagram.
find
Please
us
add us.
everywhere as Frendz Podcast. Follow us. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. We have a Facebook page now. Frendz
Facebook page now
Podcast.
with 5 likes, so please start
Man.
liking that page.
I'm
Please
guilty,
follow
man.
our-
I gotta like.
Hey, but hey, I don't care. We have a ton of downloads outside of Sacramento, which is blowing
Yeah,
us
this
away.
is
so it's
surprising
awesome.
that there's so much response for our podcast. If you have any questions, suggestions, or would like to be on the show, or you know someone that would like to be on the show, that would be a good guest. friendspodcast@gmail.com, or on our website there's a contact form, friendspodcast.com.
And we're on SoundCloud now too, so all you Android users that have been complaining, please, we want to listen to the podcast, but we don't know how. SoundCloud.
I don't know how to use LG.
SoundCloud, check it out. And a lot of you actually have been asking me where the podcast is. Just go on the website and all the links to where they
Exactly.
are. YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. Just go on the website. Friends
Basically, we should
Podcast.
start plugging our website. We know we're noobs. Just so you guys know, we're noobs to this. So, friendspodcast.com, Zanko Music, or Zanko.com, ZankoMusic.com. He's on Instagram, he's on Twitter, he's on all that stuff. Follow him, and thanks a lot for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.